Okay, so I got the call 2 days ago to come finish this rock job. The other company that was on it, their hammer wasn't big enough, which I'm not picking on them for. That's not uncommon in this area. I'm not entirely sure what to make of what they're doing. They put a 16-inch bucket on to try to get through it, and because of that, it has turned into what it's turned into. So there's a lot of stuff here to fix. It's gonna be a good day of hammering, and all this is for plumbing. So again, you just got to make it right so the plumbers can plumb. So as we sit here and watch this, folks, you know, you can see we're sitting here hammering the edge of the ditch off. And the reason I'm hammering the edge of the ditch off was they were digging with a 16 or an 18-inch bucket, and we need to take part of that ditch down almost a foot in places. So I'm digging with a 2-foot bucket here, so we got to widen the ditch out to get down in it. I'm not really 100% sure what they did or didn't do before, but like I said earlier, it was they had a lot smaller hammer than the one I brought with me to do this today. And you know, this is a 1,800-pound hammer, so it's a lot bigger. I think they were using a 1,200-pound hammer. So is, you know, anyway, we sit here and we hammer all this out, and you can see by the size of the rock that we're dipping out here that this rock, you know, rock size does determine a lot of the hardness as you're dipping. So the bigger the rock, typically the harder it is, because it breaks out in bigger chunks. So it's kind of a slow process when you're digging rock like this. You know, you hammer what you can reach, and then you dip out, and then you can hammer down, and you know that hammer point's only about 16 to 18 inches long, so you're only going down 16 to 18 inches in every pass, which again, it's time consuming. We had to backfill about the last third of ditch they had dug to be able to get the 446 in there to hammer with. It just was easier than doing anything else, you know. So we'll keep hammering and hammer some more. Right here we're only going down, you know, another 3 inches, so I'm only going about half a point. It's always easy to over hammer, because you can fill it back. It really sucks to have to come back and hammer off like 1.25 inches that you missed in your last set because you weren't taking a full point. Just, you know, experience will teach you that. So you just keep hammering, and when I sit here and hammer, I hammer the edges of my ditch to keep the sides. Otherwise the ditch will force you to narrow up. It pushes the hammer away from the edges as you hammer down. Just gravity will do that. So you got to work real hard to keep your edges, and you're not going to keep them square, but you got to work hard to keep them wide so your bucket fits. Again, it's just part of the things of practice. And that's also what helps you keep a straight ditch. If you tried to hammer out the center and then get the outsides, the hammer would just keep slipping off. So that's just, again, tricks of the trade. Some of this rock's pretty spotty. This area has been like this for as long as I remember. We've been doing stuff out here for 20 years off and on in this little housing community that's on the southwest end of town. Certain parts of it, you won't have any rock, but all of this area, when they built all this pad work, they drilled and shot the whole thing. So this is what we get to come in and deal with. And these are post-tension houses, so that's why they don't have a footing. This one's a 6-inch slab, I do believe, so it's just a 6-inch post-tension slab that sits on the ground. They'll use sand to shade the pipe with, and then they'll backfill it with all this material and put AB down and pour concrete on it. When you are doing this type of work, you got a lot for there being sand going in the ditch, so you're taking out an extra 4 to 8 inches of material, and you don't get quite so critical trying to make it absolutely perfect coming back, because you're going to put sand in it and it's going to help. These are small houses, 2-bathroom houses with a kitchen and a laundry, so you can see I broke the sewer tap there. And that's just it. It's a sewer tap. All this is diggable right here because they drilled and shot to put the sewer line in. So all of this rock was fractured, and some of it's backfill because they put the sewer line in. You can see the nice material there. And I mean, that's just basically it. It's pretty simple. So, there's probably another 20 or 30 houses in this 70 lot unit that will do like this, because we're not the primary digging for this customer. We're just out there because we have the bigger tools than what most guys have, and that's why we got the call to go take care of it. Since I did this, we've done 2 more out there in the same week that turned too hard. So some of this rock's pretty spotty, some of it's pretty hard. It's by no means the hardest rock I've ever been on with this equipment, but it's a pretty good match. So hope you enjoyed the video.